So welcome everybody. I haven't introduced myself, but my name is Lenora Bayless, and I have worked with a company the last 26 years, teamed up with them. Yeah, Allison's coming.
Okay.
So the last 26 years, and they've had, I think what appealed to me most is they just had one simple goal, and that was to help people get more produce into their diet. So this is National Gardening Month, and there's Becca Oliver is coming in too. Okay, so this is National Gardening Month, and so we thought we'd talk today about one of the tools that we have that would definitely help you get more produce in, and that's our tower gardens. And before we show that to you, I wanted to just share with you some of the things that have been happening in that realm of people gardening. Growing your own food has increased 200% in the last decade. They report now that 1 in 3 families are trying to grow some level of their own food. And I think part of it is people reacting to the food industry's impact on things like climate change and, you know, the excessive use of fossil fuels in traditional growing, and just the desire not to have chemically drenched produce, right? I think most of us can relate to that. So there's more interest, and I would say particularly with younger folks, in the not just the origin of their food, but the impact of their food. And so I was reading an article, and they were talking about voluntary simplicity is making a comeback, going back to the things that have sustained life and health for a long time. But I have to say in that gardening can be anything but simple. Have any of you gardened that are on the phone with us? Have you tried that with, like, is it simple to do the raised beds, to amend the soil, to figure out how to keep the pests out? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it can be anything but simple. So I had an interest for a really long time in gardening. It wasn't the first step I made in my health journey. We'll talk more about that as we go through this, but eventually I knew I wanted to do gardening. And what really appealed to me about what we're going to share with you is that I didn't have to have all that know-how. And that made a big difference to me. So I'm just going to share a little short video of exactly how what we call the tower garden works. And then I'll share a second video that shows more of the application, but I want you to see the mechanics of exactly how it does what it does. So let me share my screen, and here we go. All right. Everybody see that?
No, we did see your screen that shows the videos that you want to show.
What's
I
that?
hear the music. You can't see it.
Tower Gardens.
You can't see that?
Aeroponic vertical garden system.
No.
That's really
you see
bizarre.
your screen.
You
That
can see your screen that you're with your arrow, and
So
it's
it doesn't let you, when I clicked on it, it doesn't let you see that. Okay,
No,
here
I
we go.
hear it.
So try that again, because it should be open now, and I'll just restart it.
yeah, that works.
There we go.
Okay, so I'll have to do that with the other video. You'll have to give me a sec. Okay, here we go.
Tower Gardens' state-of-the-art aeroponic vertical garden system uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better tasting, and incredibly nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Tower Garden has a 20-gallon reservoir at its base that stores the Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Developed by experts in plant and human nutrition, Tower Tonic Mineral Blend enables superior plant growth and better nutrition from your Tower Garden produce. The process begins once the seedlings have been placed in your tower garden. Here they will be nourished with Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Inside the reservoir is a small, low-wattage submersible pump. The pump pushes the nutrient solution up through the tower to the top. From there, the nutrient solution drips through the central tower using a special device that evenly cascades the solution over the exposed plant roots. On the journey down the tower, the nutrient solution feeds the roots and becomes highly oxygenated as it cascades gently down the reservoir. This process is continuous. providing fresh oxygen, water, and nutrients to the roots of plants. This patented aeroponic process enables food crops to grow faster than they would in soil, so they can be harvested more often. And it makes Tower Garden the healthier, easier, smarter way to grow your produce.
So that's kind of in a nutshell how it works. I'm going to open the other video so you can actually see the whole thing from the beginning. And because I want you to see the application now of how this could make gardening feasible for a family. So here goes. This is from a show on television called The Balancing Act. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but this was an interview that was done about tower gardens. So here we go.
Well, we've all heard the USDA recommendations about fruits and vegetables being essential to our health and how we need to make sure that half our plate, half that plate at every meal is made up of fruits and veggies. And so today we are checking out a new way to get nutritious, oh so amazingly tasty vegetables into our diets. It involves starting a garden right at home. All right, take a deep breath. It's not as daunting as you might think it is. It can actually be a whole lot of fun for you and the entire family. Just ask my next guest. This is Toni Branner. She's a mom. She's an exercise physiologist who is here to share her at-home secrets. Toni, good morning to you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here with us. What made you want to try gardening at home?
Oh, wow. Well, I've always been intrigued by the farm to table movement and providing local vine ripened produce for my family. But I've never grown a garden on my own. Maybe some mint, which I've heard you can't kill mint.
You can't kill mint.
That's
I don't have a green thumb. I'm with you, girl.
But I went to visit a friend and she was going on and on about this tower garden that she was growing, and you could grow fruits and vegetables at home without the weeding and the digging. And I thought, wow, that's something my family could really benefit from. And she told me her grandchildren were eating foods they'd never tried before.
Because they were so excited to see it on a tower growing.
And I have a son who's a very picky eater, so I was pretty excited about it.
So you're like, I'm gonna try this. All right, your friend piqued your interest. What happened next?
Well, I bought my own tower garden and we decided to make it a family project. And so we all chipped in and did our part, and it was a blast. We set it up according to the directions and used the seeds they gave us. And about 4 weeks later, lettuce. Lots and lots of lettuce.
I got lettuce.
Yeah, lots of lettuce, and not just any lettuce. It was beautiful and smelled wonderful. You don't even think lettuce would smell great. But
I know, and I was thinking that I'm here. It's too bad we don't have smell-o-vision, because I have to tell you, it smells amazing in here. I wanted to ask you, because I told you, I don't have a green thumb. How quickly did you get the hang of it?
Well, my mother-in-law, who is an avid gardener, was amazed at how quickly it grew, the yield that we achieved. And we were doing lettuce and kale and spinach and cucumbers and cherry tomatoes. And once you set it up, it's pretty easy. You just have to monitor the water and nutrient content of the tub. And it's kind of like an easy chemistry set.
An easy chemistry set?
Yes.
Which was not my best subject in school. So I'm willing to try to get the hang of this, because I think it's such a great thing for families to really get their kids eating healthier. And I wanted to talk to you about the difference. All right, so I've got this tower garden, right?
Okay.
But how does that differ from traditional gardening where you're kind of in the dirt doing it?
Right. Well, I told you I'm not a traditional gardener, but I can talk about the tower garden. And many of your viewers may have heard of hydroponics before. But this is an advanced form of hydroponics called aeroponics. And the column that runs in the middle of the tower garden actually holds the roots. The roots float down in there and they're showered with nutrients and water. And you can actually hear it if you lean your ear in. You can hear the water trickling down.
Oh, how nice.
It's really great. And it's environmentally friendly because the nutrients are recycled. And it only uses less than 10% of the land and water of traditional gardening. So that's
great.
And even if you don't have a yard, a balcony or a patio works really well for a tower garden. So your family can enjoy fruits and vegetables locally picked right in your back door.
I love that, because we have these tower gardens here in the studio, but folks, no, you cannot grow it in your living room. You have to take it out to your patio or your balcony because it does need light.
Sunshine.
It needs some sunshine. So
Right.
definitely you got to take it outside.
That's right. That's right.
What a great thing. Now, I know that you brought this terrific salad that we see here with us this morning using all grown by you fruits and veggies. It looks absolutely fantastic. Walk me through what we have here.
Okay, first I want you to see the roots that are still attached to this
Wow,
gorgeous
look at
lettuce.
that.
Isn't that beautiful?
Doesn't get much more natural and fresh than that.
And it's so exciting to make a salad with things that you've grown yourself.
Sure.
And so we're going to put some edible flowers in that we grew on my tower garden. And we put tomatoes in already, and you can see, is that not beautiful?
It
The
looks
colors
great.
and the phytonutrients that are in that salad are just amazing.
It looks amazing. Okay, so it looks good, but the big question is, how does it taste?
Well, you have to taste it and you have to smell it,
All right.
because that's the real difference between.
That's my cue.
Yes.
And I'm going to do it from over here.
And what I've noticed
Oh
is
my
my
gosh.
son was so excited about growing the tower garden and the way the food looked and the way the food smelled that he started to eat fruits and vegetables that he normally wouldn't eat. And that's been very, very exciting. There's actually studies that show that if you expose young
get another
children
one.
to fruits and vegetables, you're going to keep eating. Yeah.
This whole tower garden will be gone.
Yeah, but if you expose young children to fruits and vegetables when they're young, they start to crave them, and you set them up for healthy habits for life.
And that's really so important. And the other thing too is I didn't realize lettuce had a smell. So the fact that it smells so great is wonderful. It tastes amazing. And you've been an amazing guest this morning. Thank you so much for sharing the tower garden with us.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Mhm. And of course, you can find out more about the Tower Garden yourself by heading to the website. It's towergarden.com.
So that is a little more detail about Tower Garden. You see some of the things you can grow. There were some things I made notes on from that video. First of all, you don't have to use seedlings. I grow from seeds all the time. And if you don't have space outside, and for me, it was the battle of the bugs. You have less problem with the Tower Garden, but there's still things that fly, moths that fly, can lay eggs, that kind of stuff. And there's all sorts of great guidelines for anybody that wants to grow organically and do it outside, but I decided to bring them inside. So I have grow lights that the company also has that I'm able to grow year round. It doesn't even have to be a sunny place. It could be in a basement if you have the grow lights going, and that were extremely energy efficient. So literally, I grow all my salad vegetables, chard, kale. When they're talking about the taste and the smell, it's the arugula. How many of you guys like arugula? Anybody here arugula? I'm an arugula lover. And the difference in the flavor, I never knew arugula was supposed to taste like that. So it just really is very fragrant. And the whole thing with nutrient density is it develops when it is fully mature. And so being able to pick it when it's ready and put it in what you're making makes a huge difference in flavor. So I'm going to come back to a couple of things, but I wanted Liz and Ashley to just share. Liz is just getting started with growing a garden, but she's not new to a health journey that led her to this point. So Liz, why don't you share a little bit about what you've been up to?
Okay, well, yeah, I would like to tell a little bit about my health story. I don't know if you guys can see, it's kind of dark in your room. You can see my tower gardens in my living room next to my piano. And you can see those, if you can see it, those are my grow lights, and it's in the new stage. I just planted those about a week ago, and they are growing like crazy. So I'm very excited. I picked some mint this morning and put it in my chocolate smoothie to make kind of like a chocolate mint smoothie, and it was awesome. So I'm really excited about that. So, I'd love to tell you a little bit about my health journey. So before I begin, I just first want to take a minute to tell you the why I've spent the last couple of years changing the ingredients in my life, changing the foods our family eats and the products we put on our skin, the products we use in our home, things like that. So it's really because of a few different things, but because, I found myself sick of being tired and sick of feeling just not really that well. I also found myself concerned at how many around me were suffering with some sort of autoimmune disorder, chronic illness, and even cancer. And then 4 months after having my fourth child, I got really sick. My body was suffering, and the symptoms, they came on really kind of fast. I had horrible stiffness and pain in both my knees. I had chronic fatigue so bad it put me in tears. And most days I had numbness and tingling all through the right side of my head and face, sometimes down my body. I had anxiety, insomnia, vision issues, hair loss. Doctors could not figure out what was wrong with me. And after visits to primary care doctors, neurologists, rheumatologists, kinesiologists, I just became desperate for healing. And so that's kind of what began my journey of how I could find some healing. So, and that's kind of what also led me to just start doing a bunch of researching on my own. And so that was when I decided to put non-toxic, clean ingredients and plant-based nutrition to the test. So just after a couple of weeks of doing that, my symptoms started to improve. After the course of, it took some time, slowly by slowly, things started to get better. So it was probably by the time we hit the year mark, all my symptoms were gone. And I'm just so grateful to say that many added benefits came beyond my healing, and I was just kind of being hooked. I was feeling so great. Through this journey, I've come to know that I'm not alone in my experience. Too many suffer daily what I believe are symptoms caused not only by the toxins we take into our bodies, but also the lack of whole food nutrition that gives us the ability to fight back. And so with that, I just also wanted to share how grateful I am that I actually stumbled across Juice Plus a little over halfway through this journey. I saw it in my friend's pantry, and I recognized the label and had remembered that my college roommate from 26 years ago was taking this. And I hadn't spoken to her in 26 years. And I was able to track down her number, and I called her and said, I know this is really random. Like, do you still take these juice powders, the fruits and vegetables? And she said, yeah, I've been taking it for 26 years. My entire family takes them. My parents who are in their 80s have been taking them for 30 years, and kind of just went in and told me more about it. So I came home and started doing some research, and was, pleasantly surprised that it's heavily researched. It's in leading medical journals. So after reading some of the research, it just made sense for myself to, as we're now trying to get the recommended 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables daily. I don't know about you, but that's just not always going to happen. So knowing that I could take some juice, capsules of fruits, vegetables, and berries that can give me a variety of 30 different fruits and vegetables every day, it just made sense for me. It made sense for, my husband, for my kids, and we have loved it. What we have found for us is that we have way less sickness. And when I was just talking to my husband the other day, and asked him kind of, what have you noticed? And he's like, well, when my body tried to get sick twice this year, I had a sore throat for about a day or two, thinking, okay, now I'm going to get the congestion, and now I'm going to get this. And he's like, by day 2 or 3, I wake up and that's it. And we're like, I guess our immune systems are working better. And I actually really wanted to put it to the test. So I made my husband and I go get a bunch of blood work actually just 3 weeks ago, and just said, let's do a panel. And I really wanted to get our cholesterol checked. And we were kind of blown away with the results. I hope my husband's okay with me sharing this. His overall cholesterol is about 200, and it's now, I think it was 148. Mine went way down. His doctor emailed him and said, you have excellent blood work. So that was really motivating, exciting, that when we put proper nutrition into our bodies work really, really well. So I could go on and on. It's been a great thing for me, and enough that it's motivated me to want to help other people just to have the best health that they can have. So with that, am I turning it over to?
Just come back to me for a second. I was just going to share with you, that my journey was similar to Liz's, because if somebody had suggested I started growing out of the gate when we were starting our health journey, I would have looked at them like they had a hole in their head, because I was a crazy busy mom working full time. My kids were 8, 11, and 13 at the time. And I'm sorry, my husband's leaving and he's talking to me. 8, 11, and 13 at the time. And 2 of them had chronic asthma and allergies. And I knew that getting more fruits and vegetables in them was going to be key to helping their immune systems do better. But trying to negotiate that with young kids eating more greens was not where I was at. And so when my friend shared the way that we could get more fruits and vegetables in our diet, which is plus, I said, sign me up, and have never looked back. And are within a few short months, my kids' symptoms had improved. My own chronic sinusitis went away in the course of a year, where I have never had a sinus infection since. So it really got my attention that food is powerful medicine. And I've never looked back from that. Whenever something comes up in your health, now I'm in my 60s, and it is, I always think, okay, what could I do food wise that would make a difference in that regard? Because there's always an answer. Every pharmaceutical that is out there that's effective came from a plant. So start with the plant and see if you can make it work yourself. So Ashley's been, and I've been growing a tower garden since the very beginning. I think they've been out 9 years now. I've been growing since the very beginning. They're still working great. So it's an initial investment, but I think that tower garden will be here when I'm gone. So they last really well. And Ashley, I don't know if you're in a good place that you can share. I see your kiddos with you, but unmute yourself first.
Yes, I'll be short and sweet. And I just want to say about 8 years ago, allergies, asthma, sinus infections, just looking for a way to bridge the gap, which is what I really love about Juice Plus, sent me searching for answers. And my family was actually the one that had seen help in chronic sinus, asthma and allergies. I thought it's not going to hurt. It might just help. And it has been transformational for our family, getting more fruits and vegetables. I use it as a prenatal. It's safe from the womb to the tomb. My kiddos do actually crave more, and it shocks me, even though it shouldn't, that when I introduce new things, because they're getting it every day and they think it's a little fruit snack, but I have to actually hide it on the shelf because they'll eat the whole thing, which isn't bad, but we just want to give them what they need every day. They'll enjoy it. They're like, this is good, Mom. And I'm shocked, but it's because they've been getting it. And I love that. And we decided to get a tower garden. You can see it right behind us. And I'm going to actually walk over and show you. I'm really excited because they're like little babies starting to grow, as you saw Liz's. And I did it from seed. So you can do starters or seed. And my boys do start to eat more. It's an easy, convenient way from tower to table. It does taste incredible. It's kind of ruined me for store-bought produce because of the fresh taste that you get. You're in charge of what you grow and how often you harvest. It kind of opens up the door to meet new friends because we share it with neighbors because it just grows so much and so quickly. And it uses 90% less land and water and yields 30% more. And it was kind of a no-brainer for us. And I'm going to ask my 6-year-old, what do you love about the tower garden?
I kind of love that it gives us healthy stuff to grow strong and really tall. That's what I really like about it.
Yeah. So we love it. Do you love the tower garden, Bud?
Yeah.
So thanks for your time. I'm going to mute myself now.
Awesome. And when she's talking about sharing with your neighbors, we were gonna finish with for those of you that have not had any exposure at all to Juice Plus, to tell you that, because if you're not ready to garden, we do have tools where the products have been watched from farm to table, and so they've done all the growing. They juice the vegetables. You have they pulverize it, juice it, and then remove. Well, you'll get to see how that's done. But it's a place to start if you're not ready for gardening. But it's just, I hope in this gardening month that everybody is focused on, and I think today might even be Earth Day. I got an Earth Day message from somebody. But that you think about how much benefit to our health plants really are. So I just wanted to share my screen one more time and show you something that I thought was fantastic. And this is 12 urban gardens changing the world for the better. Can everybody see that? Okay, good. So there's like this is an assistance ministry project where they're giving low-income residents extra food, because food security and food equality is a really important topic. There are a lot of people in our country that are hungry. The one in Boys and Girls Club of Greater Memphis, it's a high at-risk area for youth, and they've done this program where kids not only learn to grow the food, but prepare the food and are getting jobs that involve food, whether it's cooking or they've sold the produce at farmers market because they're learning all the aspects of having a business. Another one, there's 5 Loaves and 2 Fishes food bank. The ones I just wanted to share, one that was close to my heart. There's one at hospital, but the one that's close to my heart that I looked it up for. This is a Salvation Army project in Southern California where it's food for the homeless, and the homeless are involved in caring for the gardens. And even more extreme than that is this one at Volusia County Jail, where the inmates are put into the positive work of raising plants, and it's helping them be able to feed the population there with more healthful foods. And so, I don't know if you came to the call thinking that you were going to be invited to a movement, but let's just be part of the movement about being healthier. And so to finish us off, I'm just going to share a short video. Does anybody have any questions about Tower before we, because anything you do have questions about, we can absolutely get back to you and provide you all kinds of information. Both Liz and Ashley said things that I thought, okay, yeah, because when you're harvesting the lettuce, it's very rarely like they showed in that video where you take the whole head, you take a third off and it grows back. It just keeps growing. And some things grow tall and go to seed faster, so you're replanting more often. And other things like my kale plants, my chard plants, they stay on there for months and months and never get bitter. Arugula does the same thing. So it just depends on the plant. And that's stuff that's fun to learn as you go. But anyway, did anybody have any question before we share just want to show you what Juice Plus is, because if that's a better place for you to think about getting more plants, we just want you to know what that is too. Okay, no questions. Okay, I am going to share my screen one more time. And before I do that, I need to go get it open so that we don't have that problem again.
I think the video is going to share this, but another thing I love with kiddos is any adult order. You can sponsor a child between the ages of 4 and 18 and up to a college student. They can get it for free for 4 years. But I think the video mentions that.
Yes, it does. So here we go. I'm going to come back to you guys and okay, trying to get back to you. There we go. If I share my screen now, we should be good to go. Okay, here we go.
When it comes to our health, diet is at the center of everything. And fruits and vegetables need to be at the center of our diets. I'm here today to tell you more about Juice Plus, whole food-based fruit and vegetable capsules that have given thousands of people a jumpstart to better diets and better health. We all know we need to eat lots of fruits and vegetables, half our plate at every meal, and we need to eat a wide variety too. But for most of us, even on our very best days, it's hard to do that. And that's where Juice Plus comes in. Juice Plus is whole food nutrition from 20 fruits and vegetables, 30 if you count the berry blend, that bridges the gap between what we should eat and what we actually do eat every day. I say whole food because it is food, concentrated to deliver a powerful nutritional punch in a few small capsules. We harvest the produce at just the right time to ensure the nutrition is at its peak. Freeze the produce to lock in that nutrition and then, well, sort of pulverize everything, peels and all, into a pulp to unlock that nutrition and concentrate it. The peel is really important because let's take an orange, for example. There's more vitamin C gram for gram in the peel than in the fruit itself. And if you're like me, you don't usually eat the peel. We dry that pulverized pulp, peels and all, at carefully controlled temperatures to protect the nutrients from damage. Then blend it into Juice Plus fruit, vegetable, and berry powders, delivered to you in plant-based capsules or chewables. And we do all of this at state-of-the-art freezing, drying, blending, and manufacturing facilities. Juice Plus checks all the boxes. It's 100% plant-based and 100% vegan, even the capsules themselves. It's made entirely from non-GMO ingredients, it's gluten-free, and it's third-party NSF certified, independently confirming that what's on the label is really in the product. Juice Plus is supported by over 20 years of independent clinical research conducted at prestigious hospitals and universities around the world, showing the benefits of Juice Plus on heart health, lung health, obesity, the immune system, even our DNA. There have been more than 35 studies and counting on Juice Plus, published in leading medical and scientific journals, making it easily the most researched branded nutritional product ever. And get this, if you're a parent or a grandparent or even an aunt or uncle, you can get Juice Plus free for a child by enrolling in our special program for families. This is our way to get Juice Plus into the hands of more families and encourage healthier eating habits for the next generation. Juice Plus also offers other whole food-based products that help you jumpstart and maintain a healthier lifestyle. Juice Plus complete shake mixes make it easy to replace unhealthy calories with a healthy shake or a smoothie. Mix with other helpful ingredients to start your day, or enjoy at lunch, or as an afternoon pick-me-up. Complete is rich in plant-based sources of protein and fiber and contains an entire range of whole food-based ingredients, different from those in Juice Plus capsules or chewables. And Juice Plus complete bars are another tasty way to replace unhealthy calories with healthier ones. Juice Plus Omega Blend offers a unique whole food blend of 5 different omega fatty acids, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. What also makes Juice Plus Omega Blend so unique is it's a 100% plant-based omega product. We bypass the middle fish and go straight to the fish's source, the algae. And last but not least, there's Tower Garden by Juice Plus, a vertical aeroponic home growing system that lets you grow your own fresh fruits and vegetables year round, indoors or out. We're proud that our Juice Plus products have been that one simple change that's helped jumpstart thousands of people to better diets and better health. We bet they can do the same for you.
So that's it, you guys. We just wanted to share the tools that have been working for us. I know as we live life, we make a point of being generous with other people and share what has worked and been a blessing to our families so that they can have that same benefit. So we'll stay on if you have any questions, but I'm going to stop the recording and thank you all so much for being here.